Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the NoDQ.com predictions video for AEW Full Gear 2021. It is this Saturday, live on pay-per-view, and I am being joined by the NoDQ panel, as always, to do the predictions. I'm going to get everyone's thoughts on this pay-per-view. AEW, as far as I'm concerned, they always deliver when it comes to the pay-per-views. They're always great. Even the weakest pay-per-view, which I think some would say would be the 2020 All-Out pay-per-view, I still enjoyed it. I know it has its critics, but I feel like pretty much every time AEW is on the mark when it comes to these pay-per-views. Steve-O, welcome back. I'm going to start with you. A nice No DQ shirt, by the way. On a scale of 1 to 10, your thoughts on this pay-per-view?
I think I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's pretty rare that we get disappointed by these shows. All Out 2020. Well, I'll be a little biased and say it not being in Chicago probably hurt it a little bit, but I'll let my bias go aside and understand that there's a pandemic at that time. So obviously it couldn't be as good as that time. Revolution 2021 wasn't the best, and the ending didn't do it any favors. Yeah. But ignoring all that stuff, like when you order an AEW pay-per-view or you watch an AEW pay-per-view, it's pretty damn good. You get some very good wrestling. You get some nice surprises. It's pretty rare that you'll end up disappointed. And yeah, AEW shows in person, based off of Clint's comments, yeah, it's something to see, and this card should be pretty awesome. So I'm excited to talk about it, and I'm more excited to watch it this Saturday.
Absolutely. And you're lucky. You're in Chicago. You guys get the AEW shows. They've yet to come to Michigan. 0 shows in Michigan up to this point. Tony Khan, what's going on here? What does he have against me?
Love.
He's not bringing AEW.
Are you really bitching about lack of shows near you when I'm out here in California? Shut up, Aaron.
Well, Las Vegas, you guys did get Las Vegas, which is not too far from where you're
cool. At. 4 hours away, and I don't drive. Cool. Anyway,
you go to Las Vegas all the time.
Anyways. Not on purpose. Not anymore, anyway.
All right, well, good old JM, welcome back to the No DQ panel. Your thoughts, 1 to 10 on Full Gear?
Gonna stick with an 8. That's a safe bet because you always want to allow for a minor screw up on a pay-per-view, any company, even AEW, right? But other than Revolution, which I streamed house sitting for my sister earlier this year, and when they came home, when her husband came home from their vacation, I was like, thank God you're here. Oh God, what a horrible show. Other than that, I've been impressed with AEW pay-per-views. I will agree to a certain extent with a lot of people on social media that the CM Punk thing's kind of tapering off a little bit here. So we'll see what he and Eddie do Saturday. By the way, I didn't mention this during South by Sports Bar. I forgot to do that. Eddie Kingston's post this morning, dude, I am all behind that. I'm all in with him on that. I interacted with Eddie a few times over the years on the indie circuit, and he came off like a prick. And I wrote him off like a piece of crap because of just the way he was. And even when I was dealing with my own mental health stuff in my entire adult life, and I said it on Twitter, and I'll say it now, Eddie, for what it's worth, I was wrong, and I apologize, brother. And I can't wait to see you and Punk tear it down on Saturday.
All right. Big G, I see you're dressed for the occasion. You're
all elite, baby.
How you feel about this show, 1 to 10?
Well, being that I was at the first Full Gear 2 years ago, I want to say 8 out of 10. I feel that's where everybody's at. That's where I'm at. To me, All Out this past or a couple months ago was one of their better pay-per-views. I feel like some of them have, they have all been pretty well. They've had their hits and misses, exploding death match. But other than that, like I say on the No DQ review, I'm ready to get this ball rolling. Let's go.
All right. Well, I'm going with 9 out of 10 for this pay-per-view. I'm really looking forward to it. AEW delivers. Now, Jeff, real quick, when you were on the cruise, were those official AEW matches that you saw?
I'm not sure. I'd have to check the ranking. Like, I don't know if they had the match listings anywhere, but I have to check. If they were, I mean, God, the fact that we had a match with Cole Cabana and his team against the gun club, and we had Billy being called Mr. Cock all weekend. I don't know if that's official or not. So,
Yeah, I was just wondering because if those were officially sanctioned AEW matches, then technically you've been to an AEW show.
this is true. I have an AEW. Well, put it this way: one of my chief goals over that weekend was to be in the crowd for Judas. I did it, and I was happy.
And there you go.
So,
You got your bucket list.
I did.
Right.
What was so funny is my shot turned out terrible, but I forget who it was on Twitter. It turned out it got a really good shot of him and Orange Cassidy coming down the ramp. Chris retweeted my tweet of that. I was like, all right, I'll take it.
Nice.
Right. Let's get to
that, Chris, by the way.
We got the pay-per-view, 8 matches to talk about. Nice, good amount, 8 matches for what I'm guessing will be a 3-hour show. I'm all down with that. Let's go ahead and get to this card. We're going to start off big. We're going to start off with the world title match, and at the end, we'll talk about Bryan's match, CM Punk's match, so people will stick this out to the very end. But we're going to start off with the world title match. It might throw off some people later, whatever. But there's a reason for this. I want to talk about this match first because some of the other matches I feel will be influenced by the outcome of the main event. So for the AEW World Championship, and by the way, chat room, leave your predictions in the comments. I'll put some of them up on the screen. We have Kenny Omega defending the championship against Hangman Adam Page. These two have a long history together. Adam Page was competing for the AEW title in the very first all-out pay-per-view. He lost to Chris Jericho. Jericho was the first champion. So it's been about the Adam Page redemption story, trying to come back from that. He did team up with Omega. They won the tag team titles, but then they broke off. Omega won the title last December. He's been champion ever since. Adam Page has just been building up momentum. So the question is this his time to finally win the big one? Steve-O, I'm going to start with you on this one. Is it time? I mean, Bully Ray said he doesn't think it's the right time, but what do you think? Is it Adam Page's time to be world champ?
I think it's got to be. I mean, like, how much longer can you wait on this kid to be the world champion and try to go with that big push for Adam Page? I mean, yeah, he wasn't the first world champion because they probably wanted Chris Jericho to be who's like, well known by the WWE fans and just mainstream wrestling fans in general. They had to have him be the first ever champion, and they went with Moxley after, and then Kenny Omega, of course. I mean, definitely great quality champions, but I mean, yeah, I think it's got to be Hangman's time at this point. Definitely expecting a great match. It's a long time building. You almost would think like that maybe they would have opted for CM Punk or Bryan Danielson to be the one taking the title off of him, but I'll get into it later with the Bryan Danielson and Miro match, like on what route they'll take with that. But I think it's Hangman's time. I think that the elite, super elite thing will wind down a bit. It'll be interesting to see where Kenny Omega goes from here, but I'm expecting a high quality match. I think it's Hangman's time. He'll be the next champion, and then we can talk about later who he'll be feuding with next. So that's my take.
Yeah. I agree with you, Steve-O. I think it's his time. Omega's been champion now for almost a year. He had his run. I think you need to go with Adam Page, the homegrown guy, not a WWE guy. You got to try to go all the way with him, make him the focal point of the company, and see where it goes. So I'm going to go with Adam Page to win the title here. I definitely think it's time. The crowd is firmly behind him. If you go back to Double or Nothing, that crowd was just red hot for him. And when he came back in that ladder match, the place just came unglued. Definitely his time, in my opinion. Big G, do you agree or disagree with that take?
Well, I've had a couple minutes to think about it, and I was going one route, but I believe I will go with Hangman Adam Page to win the title. You guys made some good points. He and Kenny Omega were former AEW tag champs, and now they're going, against each other for the world title. and Hangman's red hot, and Omega's had it for a while now. I do feel like there might be some outside interference from the Super Elite, and the Dark Order will come out and kind of control the Super Elite. And I think obviously this will be the main event match, and Hangman Adam Page will go and send the people home happy.
Yep, it's pay-per-view, and you want that feel-good moment. You got a jam-packed crowd, Target Center, Minneapolis. Jeff Meacham, your thoughts? Or wait, real quick, Big G.
Now, that being said, I'm still going with Hangman Adam Page, but I have a gut feeling now that Kenny Omega is going to win.
All right. Well, so your official pick is
Hangman Adam Page.
All right, Jeff Meacham.
Going with Hangman. It's a cliche thing, but it's his time. They've built to this for more than a year. He was in the very first World Championship match in AEW history, and Chris Jericho won. And he's won 2 opportunities to be the number 1 contender, and he's finally getting the opportunity to make good on that opportunity. And I think he will. There's gonna be ridiculous interference from every friggin' buddy in the company.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna see the entire roster come out there and cause shenanigans. But Hangman Adam Page will walk out of this Saturday show with the world title.
And I agree with that comment. I think he's going to kick out of the One-Winged Angel. We haven't seen anybody kick out of it in AEW, to my knowledge.
Only one person's ever kicked out of it ever, and that was Kota Ibushi.
Right. So, yeah, it hasn't happened in AEW, and I think Adam Page will be the one to finally kick out of that move.
Yep. And it'll get a pop that we can hear from here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that will be crazy. So
yeah, it'll be loud.
Pop heard around the world.
We're unanimous with that one. And Kevin in the chat said it's only fitting since they opened up last year's Full Gear in the tournament final.
Very true.
Oh yeah.
Tony Khan, master of long-term booking. He knows what he's doing.
Clearly.
All right, so that's match number 1, the world title match. If anybody in the chat room is coming in late and wonders when we're talking about the world title match, just let them know we talked about it first.
It's on demand, kids.
Shame on them for tuning in late.
That's right.
All right.
Sometimes when you miss the early stuff.
We are going to be talking about CM Punk and Daniel Bryan at the end, so stay tuned for that. All right, next up, we have Darby Allin one-on-one with MJF. Now, these are 2 of the pillars of AEW, 2 of the 4 guys that are AEW originals that the company is going to be built around for years to come. This one, to me, is a really tough call. Darby Allin lost to CM Punk at the last pay-per-view, and MJF lost to Chris Jericho. So both of them really need a win here. And I'm kind of torn with this one, so I'm not going to go first on this. I'm going to put Big G in the hot seat, make him go first so he doesn't have time to think about it and rip off one of us with his
well, this should be a good match. MJF has been one of the best heels, if not the best heel, in professional wrestling today. Darby Allin is so over with the crowd. And so is MJF. He's over with the crowd because they boo him and give him the finger and call him, a-hole and all that other stuff. And
my jerk-off friend.
My jerk-off friend, thank you. And then you have the beloved Darby Allin with Sting. And you'll have, I'm sure, Wardlow in MJF's corner. And like you mentioned, Aaron, they both suffered a loss recently at the last pay-per-view. I'm going to go with MJF here. I think Darby Allin will be okay. He can come back from this. But if they go with Hangman Adam Page winning, I can see MJF being the next contender for the world title.
Yeah. Well, so I think MJF's going to be the next world champion after Page. I think that will happen eventually, but not in the near future.
He needs to be. I feel if they don't put the title on him now, it's going to be too late. I mean, he's still gonna have all that heat on him, but I say go with it. I'm gonna go with MJF all the way. My jerk off friend, Maxwell, jack off Friedman.
Now we'll throw it over to good old JM, Jeff Meacham.
So funny they rag on Max. I love it. I agree with what both of you said. I think MJF's going to win here, and I think he's going to be the next world champion. He's going to be the one to beat Adam Page, whether it's next pay-per-view or down the line. We're going to see him be the world champion before the end of next year. No question about it in my mind. And this whole thing of he needs to win more, they need to win more. It's like this, the whole 50-50 booking thing that we subscribed to during the Attitude Era, it doesn't apply anymore, unfortunately. But not unfortunately, because it makes it more fun for us to try to pick these things. I'm gonna stick with Max. I'm gonna say he wins here, and there's gonna be a lot of shenanigans. I guarantee that we're gonna see Sting get probably more involved than we have in the past, or the complete flip side. Darby's gonna walk out there and tell Sting, "I got this," and Sting will stick to the back, and Darby will go it alone, just to prove he can do it, and then he won't.
All right. Chris Washington brought up a comment. Maybe Sting turns heel or Wardlow costs MJF. I don't see Sting turning heel at all.
Yeah, Wardlow wouldn't surprise me because they've been like off and on here with getting along here since the Jericho feud. So we'll see.
Right.
All right. We'll throw it over to Steve-O.
So if anyone was hoping that I would say something different in predictions, you're going to be disappointed. I'm sorry, but MJF is going to win this one. And here's why, though. I could see what Jeff's saying, that maybe he'll go without Steen, or perhaps Steen will be at the corner, and what will happen is the Pinnacle is going to get involved in some way. For sure, Wardlow. I can't see Wardlow turning on MJF as suggested, just because, I don't know, that's just, I can't see MJF is going to go heel now that Wardlow betrays him. So, no, that's not going to happen. I can see Shawn Spears, FTR, getting involved maybe in some capacity. They attack Steen, distract Darby. MJF takes advantage of it. But either way, MJF is going to win this one. He's going to be built up down the line for a future title shot against Hangman Adam Page. He'll definitely be one of the top contenders down the line for that to be a feud. So MJF for the win.
Jeff.
Aaron, I got a comment over on my channel of the Championship Network from Chris Sheldon saying he thinks Wardlow will turn MJF and cost him the match. Again, that doesn't help MJF's heel status. That just gets him over as a babyface. So that's the wrong way to go. If anything, Wardlow will try to interfere on Max's behalf, screw up, and cost him. But MJF will win. But that'll be the thing that finally makes Max just say the wrong thing. And everybody's got a plan that they get punched in the face. And Wardlow's going to be like, you know what? I'm done with you little shit. Done. That's it.
I'm going to go with MJF. I'm going to go with MJF too, but I'm very torn on this one. I could definitely see Darby winning if there's some kind of interference and maybe Wardlow coming in, it backfires and he accidentally costs MJF the match. I could see that happening as well. Again, I think MJF will eventually beat Page for the title, not in the immediate near future, but sometime down the line. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with everybody and say MJF. Yeah.
A quick thing I want to throw out. This is just future booking. Like if Darby does, end up losing, and maybe go with that Jeff's thing of, Steen will come out, but Darby tells him not to. He loses the match. They'll cause some friction between Darby and Steen, and an eventual breakup and maybe a heel persona for Darby down the line. That I could see possibly.
Yeah, see, I think MJF still needs Wardlow as his heavy because Max is a big mouth. He's going to get his butt whooped. Whereas Darby doesn't need Sting anymore. I don't think he ever really did, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think now even more so that they he lost, to Punk last show, but Darby's over like Rover. I'm not discounting Sting. I think Sting is awesome. I just don't think Darby needs Sting anymore.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Next up, we have the Inner Circle. We have a 10-man tag team Minneapolis street fight. The Inner Circle going up against Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and America's Top Team, which includes Dan Lambert. Now, I'll go first on this one. I think this one's pretty easy to call. Jericho, his team, they've lost more than once to America's Top Team. They lost at the Arthur Ashe Stadium show, and then they lost a few weeks after that. I think they're getting their win back here, and I think there's a reason Dan Lambert's in this match. He's going to get his ass kicked, and he's going to be the one to take the fall. Dan Lambert gets embarrassed. He's going to get the shit beat out of him, and you're going to get that feel-good moment. Inner Circle wins, I think. To me, it's a no-brainer. If this was WWE, Dan Lambert would probably pin Chris Jericho or somebody in the Inner Circle. But they're going to go with the feel-good moment. Dan Lambert, all this shit talking he's been doing, he's going to get taken down. So, Jeff, I'll throw it over to you first. Jeff Meacham, any thoughts on this match?
I think Dan Lambert's entire night's going to be summed up in the opening lyrics of Bryan Danielson's new theme song. He's going to get his effing head kicked in. I mean, straight up. He's going to die, more than likely, and we'll be okay with that. Aaron, you and I have watched Scorpio Sky develop from the masked, half of the tag team back in the PWG and AWS and indie days to the awesome superstar he has become. I think he's going to have a good showing here. Ethan Page is great. Dos Santos and Andrei, it's like I'm not familiar with them enough to really comment, but I want to see Lambert get his face punched through. I really do. I can't stand him. He bugs. He bugs worse than MJF is supposed to bug. Inner Circle wins. It won't be a all-out thrashing of everybody, but and what I would do is have Sammy pin Lambert just to make it even more humiliating than if it's Jericho. Just to piss off Dan even more.
Big G, your thoughts on this? Agree or disagree? Are you gonna? We've been unanimous so far.
Inner Circle should be one hell of a street fight. I feel like they're gonna beat everybody else down in America Top Team, and then it's gonna be 5-on-1 with Dan Lambert. What the heck is going on? Why is it like Steve-O twice? Okay.
More of me to love. What can I say?
But
Look at Tony.
Should, like I said, one hell of a match. Inner Circle, obviously. I'm kind of disappointed that Inner Circle doesn't have a female member yet, because then we could have a female member versus that Paige Van Zant in the match too. And I can see the rest of America's Top Team trying to interfere in the match as well, since it is a street fight.
All right. Well, Steve-O, I've seen some comments in the chat room real quick. Jeff?
I was going to say, the previous comment, I forgot about Tom being done with MLW because he let it. So that may not be out of the possibility. I also had somebody in my chat room, Chris Rotz. I'll throw it up there real quick here. Well, actually, I can't do it because my screen's behind. But he says, "Hey Jeff, can you see Wyndham debut at Saturday at Full Gear?" Again, we'll talk about peripherals later, but don't be surprised if he is. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, Steve-O, we've seen some comments in the chat room. People are bringing up this idea that maybe Jake Hager turns against his team members and joins up with the MMA guys. So you want to go different from us and pick America's Top Team?
So I was thinking it over. I kind of want to see some way that the Inner Circle would come to an end. I mean, I know they were kind of building up this is a quiet breakup and stuff. But I'm not going to be fun or exciting and predict anything different. The only thing I was thinking about, however, I do like that idea of Hager betraying the team. I think that's actually a pretty smart idea and make for some fun TV. But I don't see it happening. The one thing I was thinking of is I don't think that I could see a potential opportunity where Dan Lambert doesn't do the match. Like he says he's going to go in, but he fakes an injury or makes up some excuse like, I can't compete tonight, but fortunately I have a replacement. Insert an all new wrestler to come in. I don't know who it would be, of course, but I was playing off that scenario. But for right now, I guess I don't know. I can't see anything. I've been trying to look at these scenarios where maybe Dan Lambert's group will win by doing this, but I just can't picture it. I think Inner Circle all the way. Sammy's the current TNT champion. I just don't see anything happening where they lose. So that's my take.
All right, so far we are unanimous with our predictions. 3 matches in, we have no disagreements. All right, moving on here. Let's see if we have a disagreement on this one. The Lucha Brothers defending the AEW Tag Team titles against FTR. Now, FTR, of course, they're former tag team champions. They have the AAA tag team titles that they won a couple weeks ago. So, Steve, I'm going to go right back to you on this one and let you be in the hot seat. Do you see FTR capturing more championships and having both sets of titles? What do you think is going to happen here?
So it was really weird when I came home back from work last Wednesday. Like, I tuned on the TV. I realized, like I thought when FTR was holding those titles, I was like, did I miss something where they actually won the titles already from Lucha Bros? But then I realized, oh, those are the AAA titles they have there. So, I mean, I'm just trying to think, like, of all the championships, like how many people have been 2-time champions in AEW so far, and only Cody with the TNT championship has happened thus far. I almost want to say it would be too soon for the Lucha Bros to lose the titles.
I agree.
But I don't know. You know what? I'm going to be bold on this one. I'm going to actually say FTR will win the tag team championships, and they'll be the first ever 2-time AEW tag team champions. I don't know how it's going to play off, but I mean, they've been building them up really well, but I mean, I'm just trying to think there, but I'm going to just go with FTR to be new tag team champions this Saturday.
All right. Is this the end of us agreeing? I'm going to throw it over to good old JM Jeff Meacham now to end this once and for all of us agreeing on everything. Go ahead.
You put way too much pressure on me there, boss. No, I'm a stick to the agreement. I think FTR will regain the titles here. I like Lucha Bros, but I like the idea of MJF winning, FTR winning, and having the entire group just come out there on Wednesday like the cock of the walk, like they own the world again. So. FTR.
All right. Big G, the pressure's on you now to disagree and end this.
You know what? The Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks put on one hell of a match at All Out in that steel cage match. And I feel like it's the Lucha Bros' time to have a run with the titles. So I'm going with the Lucha Bros.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. The end.
There you go.
There it is. And that's a good point. They won the titles not too long ago, and we tend to see teams in AEW have lengthy runs with the titles. So I'm going to go ahead and agree with Big G. So we're split on this one. I'm going with Lucha Brothers to retain the tag team titles, do their thing, and FTR can continue to be the AAA tag team title. So they'll have something. They'll have something to do.
I mean, the chat room pushing for everybody to turn every damn buddy in this show. They're freaking turn happy.
Every match is like somebody turns against somebody. Yeah, I just think Lucha Brothers will retain the tag.
2 heel turns on Raw, so that'll spill into AEW.
Right. But was Kevin really a heel turn? Really? I mean, come on.
Well, we definitely talked about that and debated it.
Yes, we did.
All right, let's move on here. Next match.
I told you it was a comment. It was directed at me. It took off the screen too fast. Put that back up.
Which
I can't see.
It said Jeff thinking of this so old school, have MJF win and have Andrade with MJF and FTR cut a segment with the belts and then the inner circle come out.
Why not? I'm all right with that. Cool.
All right. Now we move on to the AEW Women's Championship match. Big G's new favorite. He moved on from Shayna Baszler. We got Dr. Britt Baker.
D.M.D.
Up against Ty Conti. She doesn't have a hand gesture, but people like her nonetheless.
Oh, she does. We just can't do it on the air.
Oh. Is there something I don't know, Jeff, that you know?
No. I can't say that loud. Anyways, we're going to get rated. Let's keep going here. Anyway.
To me, this one's pretty straightforward. I don't think Ty Conti's winning the title. I think Thunder Rosa will eventually get her her title match against Britt Baker, the rematch from their hardcore match earlier this year. You know, people have been waiting for that big rematch. I think Thunder Rosa is going to be the next champ. So, yeah, Britt Baker wins. Kind of a filler match, but I think it'll be good. Nonetheless, I'm going with Britt Baker to retain the championship. Good old JM, Jeff Meacham, your thoughts?
You know, it's funny. I talked about before I went on the cruise that I didn't understand the Orange Cassidy thing. I didn't get why he was over. I didn't understand it. I'm still a little befuddled by it, but having seen it in person, I get it. I did not realize how freaking over Britt Baker was outside of Pittsburgh. Holy shit, is that girl over? She had the entire cruise. We were told in meet and greet lines, because they had Cassidy and Britt in the same sessions, both a Friday and a Sunday. We were told on Sunday, you're going to want to pick one because you're not going to get the other. The lines are going to be too long. And sure as hell, the lines for both wrapped around the deck.
Wow.
Those two are over. And every time Britt came out for a match, everybody was there with her every step of the way, and Rebel and Jamie. I'm a believer. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan for life. I want to get me one of them Britsburg Title Town towels just cuz now. For real. She is the real deal. And to be fair to Big G, Aaron, he didn't switch from Shayna Baszler. WWE done dragged Shayna through the mud and got her so freaking tainted that Big G had to run so he wouldn't get contaminated from the disease that became her career. Okay?
Well, at least she still has a job.
Just saying. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely picking Britt. I can't say her damn name. I'm so freaking.
You like her gestures, apparently.
Apparently so. But I just think Britt is the Britt Thunder Rosa match is money. They had one of the best matches in AEW history not too long ago, and that rematch is going to be, you know, for lack of a better term, money in the bank. So they don't want to waste it by having Britt lose here.
Right. All right, and we'll throw it over to Steve-O with his thoughts real quick.
Yeah, this is nothing but just a filler match. Tay Conti, she's fine. She does good enough work in the ring. But yeah, nothing terribly special. But she's definitely developing a fan base and definitely has a future ahead of her. But it's all about D.M.D, baby. Pretty much, she's the hottest female act in AEW right now. Well-deserved champion. She's definitely great on the mic, great in the ring. Her future is very bright. I see her being a champion well into 2022. We might get that big Thunder Rosa rematch at Revolution, either January or February, whenever that pay-per-view is. But definitely she's going to be champion for a good while and for a good reason. That's really all I got to say. The match should be pretty good, but yeah, there's no way Tay is going to win this one.
All right.
And honestly, I can't pick against Britt or Rebel because they were both out there, some of the chief people of AEW cheering on Paradise Kitty throughout the whole cruise. So they got my vote for sure for life now. So,
nice. Moving on here, we got the Superkliq up against Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. 6-man tag team match. Could be the match of the night. I mean, there's a lot of really strong matches on this show, but you know these guys are going to tear it up as only they can. We know Big G's excited for this one because the Superkliq, they consist of the Young Bucks and Adam Cole.
Baby, there you go.
All right, so Big G, since you are the Adam Cole super fan representing the Superkliq, your thoughts on this match? Which team do you see getting the W?
So this is going to be one hell of a match. This is a Falls Count Anywhere match. So, you know, Superkliq has been beating down Jurassic Express and Christian Cage for the past month or so, ever since Adam Cole debuted at All Out. I'm wearing the Adam Cole shirt, but I believe it's Jurassic Express and Christian Cage will get the win here. You know, they need to get that I don't want to say W back, but they need to get their revenge on the Superkliq. Like I said, the Superkliq. But I'm gonna go with Jurassic Express and Christian Cage to get the win here.
Well, Adrian disagrees with you. He says easy win for the Kliq. So, Steve-O, what do you think about what Adrian just said? Is it an easy win, or what do you think?
So, yeah, I don't agree with you, Big G. Sorry, but Adrian, yes. Now, here's why. Like, last time for All Out, I predicted, okay, Kenny's going to retain the title. Meanwhile, the Young Bucks would be the ones that would be losing the titles. This time it's going to be the opposite. The Superkliq will be the ones winning, while Kenny's going to be the one dropping the AEW World Championship. I mean, yeah, they've been getting the advantage more over the Lucha, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, Jurassic Express and Christian, but I just can't see it. I think that the Superkliq will have their victory, and pretty much like the Lucha Express will be just continuing, or not Lucha Express, Jungle Express will be continuing to get their comeuppance eventually, but for now, Superkliq all the way.
All right, good old JM, Jeff Meacham.
Got to go with Superkliq. I love Christian and the Jurassic Express, but they got to have Adam and the Bucks look just completely dominant here. It's their first time teaming on my pay-per-view together as a team in AEW. They gotta get these guys just, back in their dominant spot. I will say that there's a comment on my end here from JJ. He's saying Christian Cage, the only man to appear on a WWE, Impact, and AEW review in 2021. He makes a good point. With the open door, could we see him in NWA? I mean, him going back with NWA would be interesting. Former NWA champion there. So there you go. And Chris Rotz is saying the Superkliq wins, and I see Adam Cole turning on the Young Bucks and Jesus Christ, Kenny Omega to reunite with Fish and O'Reilly. Stop with the turns, people. Good grief. Holy moly. Anyway, I say turns. That's right. I say the Superkliq wins and stays intact. Blah, easy for me to say.
All right. Well, I'm going with Big G on this one. I'm going to say the good guys pick up the win here. I just think like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, I feel like they've been losing quite a bit as of late, and Christian is coming off a loss at All Out. So I kind of feel like they need a feel-good moment. Adam Cole, I think, is undefeated since coming into AEW. So he could take a loss, especially if Matt or Nick take the ball.
He's undefeated in singles competition, but I think they're undefeated also in trios matches, too.
Yeah, so I could see the good guys winning this, but really this one could go either way. I don't think there's any real surefire prediction on this one. Dwayne Atkinson sent in a $2 super chat. He says, and thank you, Dwayne. He says, who's more over, Thunder Rosa or Britt Baker? That's
dumb question, Britt Baker.
Well,
okay,
so I've heard from people at live events that Thunder Rosa gets really big reactions when she comes out.
Don't get me wrong, she does. When I was at Chicago, she was on Dark Elevation when they taped it or whatever. And I mean, she got a good pop, but Britt Baker is more over than Thunder Rosa right now. Thunder Rosa is competing in the TBS title tournament right now. So, I feel like she's gonna win that title, and then eventually she'll face Britt Baker.
To put it in terms the old school guys can understand, Thunder Rosa gets a great pop when she comes out. Britt gets the Hegstrand pop.
Well, I don't know. People were saying it was like a Road Warriors pop for Thunder Rosa, but
no.
Okay,
No.
I grant that we're out in the middle of the ocean and sound, doesn't exactly measure up to other places. But man, on that pullback, Britt was over.
Well, I'm gonna take the words.
We're around the boat, man.
I'm gonna take the words of the guys that have been to the shows in person. So we'll say for now, Britt Baker is the woman, and maybe Thunder Rosa will get there a couple more months of build up. People will get behind
Thunder Rosa really hasn't been on TV in the past couple months. I haven't seen her. She's been on Dark Elevation.
She had a concussion too. So
gotcha.
Oh yeah.
That's why she got the bye in the first round to let her rest.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. Yankee the Wolf sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, is the Dark Order practically how the Ministry of Darkness would have been if they were booked as a babyface stable.
No.
I mean, I'm not even
Not
sure
at
what's
all.
dark about the
I
Dark
will
Order.
take
other
the
than they wear
$5 and say thank you for your contribution, sir.
Well, I don't think it was a
Thank you,
bad
and good night.
question. I mean, the idea is like they were supposed to be like a Ministry of Darkness type faction, but I mean, they basically maybe became the Job Squad. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, so what happened was they had the whole they were going to
Or-
be this dominant group.
what was the
and then
team
Brody
with-
passed.
what was the team with ICP and Kurgan and all
The oddities.
The Dark Order is kind of like the oddities to me.
Yeah, basically.
Right. Well, which is why people are clamoring for Bray to show up and ring them back into line. I'll tell you what, I'm still not a fan of the direction they've taken, but they were a blast on the cruise, especially with Colt there. Aaron knows firsthand how crazy Colt Cabana can get when he's turned loose, and it was funnier than hell. He ran this comedy thing that turned into a Mad Libs on Billy Gunn, and it just got off the rails from there. But them as a group, the fans liked cheering for them because partly because they're great in the ring, they're good solid workers in the ring. Part of it because they're fun to watch. Part of it because of Brody, obviously. So I think had John not passed, I think it would be a whole different situation. I think we could have had a ministry type thing where they would have been just completely sinister. And it was a good question. I just think it was worded incorrectly. I think he was trying to say it had they remained heels, if they would have been that way. And it's like, yeah, they could have been like the Ministry. The Ministry of Darkness was never going to be a babyface team. That was never going to be the case.
I gotta
All
be
right.
honest. I'm just over the Dark Order. I'm kind of ready for them to disband.
Yeah, I hear you.
I have been for a while. Besides,
I mean,
Well,
Brody Lee.
it's funny. Virtue made the point on social media and on, I think, the review. We have a hard time separating the people from the characters.
Oh yeah.
Colt Cabana is a great guy. The guys in the Dark Order are great. And Anna Jay's wonderful. I met her on the cruise. But, when they were together under Brody, they were supposed to be this dark heel team. And it's like, it's very, very difficult to separate, unfortunately, for today's fans. And I think that if they were, if they had Bray show up or Braun or whoever and, kind of rein them back in to be this dark stable, I think we could get more out of them than just a ha-ha.
I got you on that one. All right. Now we'll move on to our last two matches. We got two big matches to talk about here. We got the final match of the World Title Eliminator Tournament. Winner goes on to face Hangman Adam Page. We got Bryan Danielson versus Miro. Now, originally, Jon Moxley was in this tournament, and there's a lot of talk that he was going to win the tournament and become a heel and go after Adam Page for the world title. But now everything is changed. Jon Moxley is in rehab. Best wishes to him. Miro came in as a substitute and will be facing Bryan at the pay-per-view. So this one I think is tough to call. I could see this one going either ways. I could see a babyface Bryan Danielson up against Adam Page for the world title, and maybe Adam Page gets a big win over Bryan just to further establish him as the face of the company. But I seem to think we're getting Omega versus Bryan Danielson on pay-per-view fairly soon, coming off of that draw. Does not need to be for the world title. For those guys, it's just about who's the best wrestler in the world type of deal. They do not need a title. So I don't think Bryan's going to win this match. I think Miro's going to pull off the victory here, redeem himself, as Dr. NXT Scorpio says, and Miro will be this dominant heel champion, or not heel champion, but he'll be the number one contender for the championship going up against Adam Page. And then Bryan will go on to face Kenny Omega. I'm thinking at Revolution, maybe Double or Nothing, but pretty soon we're going to get that pay-per-view match, Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega, and that will not be for the title. That'll be about seeing who the best in the world is. So my prediction, Miro gets the W. Jeff Meacham, your thoughts?
Well, I got people over on my end saying, first of all, one Warhawk Rambo says this should be epic. That goes without saying. Miro and Bryan Danielson are going to have an unbelievable match. It's going to be very, very, Very good. And Chris Roth says Bryan Danielson wins his first AEW pay-per-view match. I disagree with Chris. I agree with Aaron. We're going to have Miro win here. Again, it's one of those things where, people seem to think that a mega match needs the title. Danielson versus Omega does not need the title. At this point, if they were to match up now, Okada Omega doesn't need the title. They're just a great match. Omega is the match guy. He has great matches. That's what he does for a living. And Bryan Danielson's been having great matches since freaking 2009 and 99. So, he's been having great matches his whole career. So they're going to hook up. So we're going to see Miro win here because that Hangman Page is going to win the world title, and they're going to be the feud going into what's the next one? Revolution.
Yep.
There you go. Which will be a much better main event than this year's Revolution. Good God.
Well, we hope so, at least. I think they've learned their lesson.
On paper, technical wise, it'll be a freaking unbelievable match. So,
Steve-O, your thoughts?
I'm going to disagree with the both of you, and here's why.
Oh, snap. Here we go.
So, I know I get what you guys are thinking, and I could definitely see them going that route, and I don't see why we can't get Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson at a future pay-per-view, but I think that, last year we had the Winter is Coming event, and why not have Hangman Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson there? Like, I was guessing, when Moxley was going to win, by the way, bless him for his decision to go into rehab. I wish him the best of luck. Serious business. I'm glad he's, he realizes there's a problem and he's going to handle it. So best of luck to him with all his rehabilitating and just moving on to better things. But anyways, the route I think they're going to go with here is that I think that Bryan Danielson will win. He won't have the match at Revolution, but instead he and Hangman will have a big, whether it's Winter is Coming or whatever end of the year big Dynamite event, or even, well, no, I would hope they don't do Rampage. I'm sorry, but no. But having it be on a big edition of Dynamite before the end of the year. Eventually, they could even do a Miro match down the line with Hangman Adam Page, even if he doesn't win that. But I think that Hangman's going to have a different opponent at Revolution. I don't know who yet. It could be Miro. It could be someone else, but for right now, I'm just going to go with Bryan Danielson to win, and then he's going to get his title match before the end of the year. So that's the route I'm going. But should be a good match. I could see some people being upset. Oh, two WWE guys going for it for the AEW title again, but I don't care. I looked up really quick to see if they've ever had matches in WWE before. I saw there was a Money in the Bank qualifier, but I think most of us probably forgot that. So whatever.
Yeah.
I did. I did. Yikes.
All right. Big G.
Man, do I agree or disagree?
Yeah. That is
So
the question.
torn. So this is going to be one hell of a match. Both are very good in the ring. I believe ever since they both came to AEW, they have both revitalized their careers. Professional wrestling career, not sports entertainment, but professional wrestling.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I hear virtue in the word cultist now.
Oh.
Anyway.
All right. I'm going with my gut. I'm going with Bryan Danielson to win here.
Yeah.
I'm going. I don't know why, but I just feel it's gonna go that way. What, Jeff?
I was
What
saying
am I?
peer pressure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm an AEW cultist now. No,
Right. Yeah. Right. There were a couple of comments. Yes, Dwayne Atkinson, Mox was allegedly supposed to be going heel and win this thing. And no, to the other comment, he's not Daniel Bryanson. According to the NoDQ Hall of Fame nominations, he's Bryan with an I, Danielson.
There you go.
Good job, Riff.
Thanks.
Oh,
All right.
you're a Hall of Famer. We're just not going to spell your name right, damn it. The hell.
Oh, what if CJ appears? And,
I was thinking that too. She's definitely a wild card. It's just it seems too obvious to bring her in, right?
Yeah.
So
I almost think she would have come in by now if she was going to come to AEW.
I think so too, because her 90 days has been after quite a while. I think she's doing a movie.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to downplay her, and yes, she's doing a movie right now, so she's totally not Lana that. She's got dark hair and the whole thing. My thought process is her debut pay-per-view worthy? That's my thought process.
Right.
Not really.
I love CJ. I just don't know if her coming on is a pay-per-view moment or if it's just a TNT TBS moment.
Well,
I think so. TBS.
Yeah, they can just do it on TV.
she's an
and be done with it.
influencer. She's got things going on. We'll see.
Definitely an influencer. Absolutely.
All right. And now we move on to the match, the last match of the evening, which is the one that I might be looking forward to the most of them all. We got CM Punk one-on-one with Eddie Kingston. All it took was one promo to sell the majority of us on this match.
Right?
I am really torn about this one, though, because as much as CM Punk is on a roll, well, you know, as much of a roll as he is working his way up the ladder to eventually get to the top. The thing about this match that I'm curious about is Eddie Kingston. He doesn't have a great track record on pay-per-view. He lost at Full Gear last year to Jon Moxley. He had Sparkles trying to save Jon Moxley from that explosion at Revolution. So he had that moment, that classic moment on pay-per-view. Him and Moxley lost to the Young Bucks at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, and then Eddie lost to Miro at All Out.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a great pay-per-view moment here where he came out on top at the end. So CM Punk is CM Punk. You know, a loss is not going to kill him. It could be a setback for him. Now, he is arguably the biggest star in the company, so you could argue that CM Punk needs to keep building up momentum as he works his way up to the top. But, man, I really think Eddie Kingston needs this win badly. I've been saying this pretty much every pay-per-view. Like, Eddie Kingston's always this guy that's really over with the fans, but he doesn't get that big win. He always comes up short. Imagine that would make Eddie Kingston. If he beat CM Punk, that would make him if he was able to do that. I don't know. And I'm gonna again not go first on this one because I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Somebody persuade me. Who has a strong opinion on this? Big G, go ahead.
All right. So am I hearing echo now?
Echo.
Okay. So their promo on Rampage was very good last week. I think I went back and watched it again just because how good it was. These two guys are very good on the mic. They are very good in the ring. Like you said, Aaron, Eddie Kingston does not have the best track record come pay-per-views. CM Punk, he could take this loss. It won't hurt him. Yeah, he's undefeated. I think he's 5-0, 6-0, or whatever, but he can come back from this. Eddie Kingston needs this win badly. I'm going to go with Eddie Kingston to win. I could see this potentially be the opening match and be a hot opener to get the crowd going. So, yeah, Eddie Kingston, I mean, when he first debuted in AEW, I had heard about Eddie Kingston. I know he was in Impact and stuff like that. I had never seen any of his work. I had never seen any of his work before AEW. So when I saw him, I was like, man, this guy, you know, he's I don't want to say heavyset guy, but I mean he's husky and he can go. I mean, a lot of guys are husky in the ring, but I mean he can go. He's a brawler. And this, I don't see this being a wrestling match. I see this being a brawl.
Yeah. And Big G, I just wanted to add something about this match that I was thinking about with these guys, but anything else you want to say?
No.
Your pick is
Eddie Kingston.
Your pick is Eddie Kingston. You know what? I'm going to let Jeff go, and then I'll give my additional thoughts. Jeff, you seem like you're very deep in thought about this one, so I'm really.
I was just thinking, Big G's so happy to be here. He danced around that compliment. Good job, G. Anyway, wow, Jesus, just dancing the night away. Anyway, like I said, I said my piece about Eddie earlier, and I talked about it on social media today, and I love the idea of them opening the show and Paige closing the show with the world title win. So Eddie Kingston wins here.
Yeah, it's a big shocker. And here's the thing about CM Punk. Like, he can recover from this. You know, it could be a setback. They're doing what they're doing with him. It is what it is. Eddie Kingston, though, I just think like the guy, the guy really needs it, especially after what CM Punk said on Rampage, kind of like saying, you know, we all thought you had this potential for greatness and you kind of just didn't deliver.
Away.
Yeah. So now it's like, well, if CM Punk beats him, CM Punk is proven correct. And what does that say about Eddie Kingston? CM Punk says,
right.
yeah, you're not really as great as we thought you were. And then I beat you at the pay-per-view. So yeah, you're really not as great as we thought you were. I think Eddie Kingston has to win this. The way the story's going, what CM Punk said on Rampage, I think Eddie's got to win this as the big shocker. But a lot of people think that CM Punk, there's no way he can be losing to Eddie Kingston. So you're shaking your head, Steve-O, so let's get your thoughts on this.
All right, so I actually am having sympathy for Eddie, even though I'm the Chicago guy here. I do have like quite a bit of sympathy. And yeah, when he debuted way back on Dynamite accepting Cody's Open TNT challenge, I didn't know about his previous work in NWA, Indies, whatever, but he is gold on the mic. He's pretty much like the everyman he never made it into the WWE, but you know, he's well respected among peers, but unlike some of the guys he was worked with, like Punk, Joe, you name it, like they've gone on to some pretty big stardom and their things. But meanwhile, he's the guy that doesn't quite make it, as proven with many of his previous matches in AEW. Even though he's a fan favorite, he just doesn't quite make it to there. But I mean, I could see it would be a pretty big surprise if that happens. But we kind of hear enough complaints about CM Punk being in these lower tier matches,
right,
like on Rampage, on like a pre-recorded Rampage on late Friday night. So I think if that's the problem right here. If Punk were to lose to Eddie Kingston, I think that people would really get on Tony Khan's ass about that, saying, okay, this is Bret Hart, WCW all over again. So I just can't see it. I mean, I think that they're going to keep CM Punk red hot, and he's going to get his victory there, and he'll go on to a big feud. But
you know, CM Punk beats him. CM Punk beats him, and then what do? Just the handshake. Oh, you put in a good fight, kid. You know, show you the respect. Like they've done that story over and over again, in my opinion.
That's where it's going to be different, though. I think that post-match, Eddie Kingston's going to beat his ass. Get really hostile, full-on heel turn, complete.
Yeah, he can go heel again now that Mox isn't there anymore.
Yeah, that could open it up for a potential rematch down the line, be it at Revolution or just before the end of the year. But
I mean,
I just think that's the route I think they're going to go. I think that if we're going to have some kind of a heel turn that night, maybe it'll be Eddie Kingston going full blown.
So for everybody at home, what was the over/under on Brett? Aaron mentioning Bret Hart, or somebody mentioned Bret Hart during the stream today on the anniversary of the Screwjob. What was the over/under on the time?
Who said we were going to talk about that?
Nobody. I'm just saying. I knew you could run up eventually because today's the anniversary. I knew somebody was going to bring Brett up. It just happened to be at the end of the show.
Today's the anniversary of the Screwjob?
Yes, sir.
I did not know that. I had no idea.
I only brought it up just because people compare this all the time to. People are just speculating, oh, this is going to be Bret Hart WCW all over again. So,
you know, every major star that shows up with the hype that Punk is gonna get that kind of, oh, well, here we go. If they don't do right by him within 2 months, he's Bret Hart again. It's like, guys, go ahead.
The thing is too, if CM Punk just ran over everybody and won all of his matches, was put in the main event, won the world title right away, people would complain about that too, saying you're just going with the former WWE guy, putting him over the established guys in AEW.
Yeah,
no win situation.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Remember, folks, there's a huge difference between Eric Bischoff signing Bret Hart in 1997, which was designed because Turner demanded another show. They wanted Thunder. So they had to boost the roster. You had to have a big star to bolster that. You can't have Hogan do every show, although he did anyway, and look what happened. So, you got to have the Bret Hart. CM Punk wasn't necessarily a must-have for AEW, but it's great to have him back in wrestling.
Yeah.
So, like TJS said on the panel a couple weeks ago, let it play out, boys. Just relax.
That's what they always say about Monday Night Raw. Anyways, that's it for our predictions. We're done here. We hope you guys enjoyed. It's almost time for NXT. So let's go ahead and get to the plugs so people can watch their NXT 2.0. We're going to start off with Steve-O. Steve-O, what would you like to promote?
Hey, everybody. It's me, Steve-O, again. Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure. Talk to me on Twitter at SteveOJ on Twitter, and follow my group's cosplay page at Too Sweet Cosplay on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube as well. Big announcement for C2E2 coming up soon, so stay tuned to our social media about that. I'll let everyone else comment and enjoy NXT 2.0 in just a bit.
Mo Camera said stop deleting his comments, Jeff.
Uh-oh.
I haven't done that today. I haven't done this freaking thing today.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen anything from O Camera at all tonight, except for now.
I don't know what Mo Camera's talking about, but apparently
I am legitimately not even in the chat room for tonight's show on either channel.
Well, I think he meant like last night you deleted his comments.
I wasn't in the chat room for your show last night either.
Okay,
I was
well
watching
then
your show. I wasn't in the chat.
Mo Camera, Jeff Meacham is not guilty, so I don't know who's deleting your comments, man.
Maybe if Mo Camera will stop trolling and stop being a little bitch, I'll stop deleting his stuff on other shows.
Yeah, we have like 10 moderators, so Mo Camera, you pissed off one of them, and I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not a mod just yet. So.
Don't piss off this moderator, dude. I'll make sure you're banned on the channel. I don't give a crap.
All right. Big G,
Why y'all gonna poke the grizzly bear? We're trying to get off the air here. God dang it!
NoDQ.com/$G will take you to my Twitter page.
Flummox Big G.
And if you happen to have TikTok, you can follow me there at Big Baller G 1988. Thank you, and that is it for me. Woo.
All right, Jeff Meacham,
Okay.
I am now going to throw up your very much outdated graphic for the Jeff Meacham Network.
It's not a big deal. Well, luckily we're broadcasting this on my channel too, so I can throw up my own graphic. Because coming up after NXT tonight is the bonus episode of Talk Wrestling that Aaron has allowed me to jump in on at 8 o'clock or whatever the hell it is, with a Booking the Territory episode based on what Eric Bischoff said here recently on social media. That'll be after NXT. And of course, you can catch everything I do over at jeffmeachamnetwork.com. I'm back on this channel, once or twice a week, and I'm on my channel doing Greg's show, doing Mikey's show, everything. So enjoy, and we'll see you guys after NXT tonight on this channel and on the Jeff Meacham Network for a bonus Talk Wrestling.
Sounds good. Make sure you guys check that out. I'll be doing coverage Saturday night, match-by-match results of the pay-per-view. Jeff?
Yes, and we'll be doing a live watch-along. The Superman Noah Foster, Casey Gallagher, and I think somebody else. We're going to have either a 2 or 3 man team calling the action. I'll be there going, in between matches going, yay, and then going back off camera.
Maybe me. No, okay.
Maybe you. There you go, brother. So, yeah, it'll be a packed house on Saturday on the Jeff Meacham Network, and then come back to Aaron's channel and get the recap if you missed it.
Absolutely. So that's all coming up Saturday, AEW Full Gear. Enjoy the show, everybody. Thanks to the panel for being on. Thank you to everybody in the chat room for participating tonight. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you all next time.